the Danny Tang storyline is obviously, you know, really intriguing with the Ivan Liao Player of the Year. But just as far as this table in general and where he's seated, it's very interesting to me how he's going to be reacting to, you know, the chip leaders to his direct right. He has a good opportunity to really battle with them and see if he can chip up. But, you know, we were discussing it when it was 2 tables. He was even discussing it openly, saying that he thought that, you know, Laszlo was opening 100% of buttons because it was into his big blind. So there's a bit of a dynamic already brewing where, you know, he's aware of how these super PLO players, you know, might perceive him, and let's see how he reacts to it.
Danny, double suited, 9s, spades, and hearts. Here's Tolerin, double suited himself. A little 3-card rundown. 7 dangler, facing the open to 160K.
Thank you.
One would imagine he would prefer to be opening with a hand such as this, maybe capturing a little bit of fold equity.
Quite a pretty hand for Tolerin and his 10 big blinds. Is this the last stand? And going to find the call.
160.
Can I use our fuzzy?
I have in the room. I can get.
Thanks.
Paused upon Ribeiro. Not sure what those other 2 cards are. The queen and the deuce have been read. No matter, as he bins it, 445 in the middle to the flop. King, Jack 5, nut spade draw for Danny. Open-ender and jacks for Tolerin.
Danny not completely thrilled with just the nut flush draw here, just no other connectivity. But with 445 out there,
$200K. Tolerin deliberates. Note that this is well over half of his remaining stack. Gonna jam it. Take his chances. Of course, Danny not gonna be going anywhere for the added 135 on request, and we're gonna play an all-in pot here early at the FT.
quite a nice result actually for Ben to see Danny doesn't even have a king.
3-2 favorite is Tolerin with 2 to come.
Can I have white rice?
Now he draws dead.
Fine with you.
A spade rolls right off on the turn to vanquish Ben Tolerin. The river is no matter.
Second stake today, bro?
Yeah.
So a bit of an anticlimactic
At least
tenure at the FT for Tolerin. Bit of a Triton enigma. First joined us Cyprus 2022, where he won a title and finished 4th in back-to-back events.
super helpful.
And then disappeared until this Montenegro festival, where he's got 16th in the 25K 8 max, 5th in the 50K 8 max, and here he is, your 7th place finisher in the 100K PLO main. And that finish is going to be good for $495,000 to be added to Tolerin's almost $2 million in career Triton earnings. No 5th title here today, or 2nd title rather, but a 5th cash. Ooh, Bujtas, kings and spades. He makes it 150. Chris Frank double suited. Yeah, not quite enough. Danny, king, jack, 10, 7 here with spades. in the small blind and expecting Laszlo to be opening a wide variety of hands, one would imagine. You saw he was able to 3-bet and get through moments ago. Plays it as a flat. Parsons hopping in.
Pretty nice hand. Ace, queen, 9-5, double suited to the high cards.
Indeed. Oh boy. Top 2 pair for Danny Tang, but as we can see, he's got himself real issues on the horizon. Up against top set for Bujtas.
Yeah, and should play this passively. You don't really want to start getting into large bets, I don't think. And Danny's well aware of that. Just going to call. Going to have to play defense. Hope that you boat up or back into some spades. Now he has the triple pair.
He's drawing dead. Little does he know it. Just check called 170K. And I'll tell you what, this is not a card that's supposed to improve Laszlo's range here. We're blocking kings. We're blocking jacks. Heck, for that matter, we're blocking sevens. Not that that's supposed to be going on.
And let's talk about how big this pot is going to get after this near pot size wager, if not full pot from Laszlo. Yeah, he bets the full thing, and we're going to be up to, 2.4 in the middle. And they're going to, have under pot left. So,
boy, I mean, this texture here really beckons for some potential equity denial. Danny does not have hearts in his hand. And there could be some of that Broadway rappy stuff. Yeah, he check pots it, and Laszlo loves to see it.
yeah, looks back at his cards. Do I have the nuts? I sure do. And Danny's going to see that he's drawing completely dead.
Showers.
Wow.
Can't take back those chips. They're gone.
Confirmed.
6.
And Laszlo with a bit of a smile on his face because that is worth a lot of money.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to honor Danny Tang's stack.
I mean, 4 pair should at least chop with the set. Right?
I know PLO's not really, your thing, Griff, but 3 pair, 4 pair, I don't care how many pair it is.
Yeah.
It's not beaten top set.
No, topset.net, baby. Hard to beat.
Only Daniel divorced, but he's not here. He left already.
Wow. He's really a rich guy.
He had a wedding to attend.
Also, there's some insight on why it is that we didn't see DeVoris at the back end of the program here,
Yeah, very good.
despite being in the
Very
hunt
talented.
Very intelligent.
Yeah.
in number 2 for this Ivan Layout Player of the Year award.
Wedding schmedding. He's a quitter if you ask me.
Did you do like the wise guy accent thing?
Yeah,
Like
see?
the old- okay.
He had a chance to be a real star.
1950 called. They want their newscaster back. King, Queen, Queen, 7 here. Danny makes it 210,000. Ribeiro has some medicine. Announced his
Danny
pot.
has put in
Here we go.
half of his stack.
Yeah, spin cycle
Ladies.
engaged.
Do I need to hit?
Diamonds are cleaned, and yes,
Yeah.
confirmed.
Some ladies, or diamonds, or 2 kings. At least I don't need the queen of spades. That's
No,
good.
single.
Diamonds are live. Ladies are live. King, queen is live. Can Danny
Red
double up?
Like queen of heart and 2 diamonds.
Or do we have our 7th place finisher?
I feel good about
6th
this
place
one.
finisher?
Black.
6th
I
place
actually
finisher.
feel good about this one.
Black as Gambia.
The 10's a good start-ish.
Ace 10 9 top
Just a jack.
set. Now Danny
Just a
hunts one of 4 jacks to stay alive.
jack. Just a jack. Will do.
Just a jack.
Jack of hearts.
Finish him!
Good game, Danny.
All right, good game, guys.
Good game.
Good luck and have fun.
So the 10 on the river, not the needed jack. Danny, always demonstrating proper sportsmanship, but obviously we know he's disappointed.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
Even with the buffer that he's able to obtain in terms of the Ivan Leal Player of the Year award.
Black.
There were some bigger payouts.
Pretty impressive run from Danny Tang. I mean, we saw him on so many of the feature tables. Played such a beautiful hand earlier today. That small bet on the river, getting value with that ace-9.
The way you hit the ace on the flop.
And yeah, just got quite unlucky on
I
the
like
final
hitting
table.
ace on
Just
the
a
river
spot he
from
couldn't
her
get away
trauma,
from.
You know what I'm saying? Ace on the river was like, got the blood flowing. But on the
I
flop,
should have learned with you, yeah.
I mean, the flop is
Should have been queen 6.
Danny, going to be adding to his $16.5 million plus in career Triton earnings, courtesy of this, his 35th cash, but one that he was hoping to do better on. 600. He says
Thomas
king, queen.
Ribeiro, let's go. I'll take this one, Ali. This hand excites me. Ace, ace, king, queen, 2 hearts.
This definitely qualifies as one of the most
Yeah. This hand
desirable sorts of hands
is
pre-flop.
Ribeiro
in
for your
PLO.
pleasure.
Oh. Frank decides from the button to play it as a 3-bet to 450. Seeking privacy, blinds oblige.
take this as well.
Remember, this is under the gun from Ribeiro. He's 33 bigs deep coming into this one. Repot to 1.5.
1.5?
1.5.
Yeah, and that's going to represent about 45% of Thomas Ribeiro's stack, and Christopher Frank quickly calling with a hand that can certainly do damage against the likes of ace-ace,
1.8.
no matter what the other 2 cards are. So we have a pot in the middle of 3.25 million. I mean, to put into perspective, and this is what we were talking about, Ali, about how these things can escalate. 2 people can get 2 huge hands, and suddenly there's, what, 32 big blinds in the middle pre-flop? I mean, Elis Parsons only has 17 big blinds, and he's just sitting there with 1.7 million. Look how much is out there. Wow, very interesting. 10-6,
This is
queen
wild.
10.
All of a sudden,
Yeah, he has to call there with the double gutter.
we're playing a big one.
42% for Frank. He's got backdoor diamonds. He has backdoor clubs. He has the immediate 7, the immediate jack outs.
3 of hearts.
Lot of ways for the German to win.
Oh, can be done. 6 of clubs. That's a good sweat card.
I don't want to switch that much.
6 of clubs. I want that.
3 of hearts.
Yeah.
3 of hearts.
Always know the best card.
Yeah, yeah. 6 of clubs. That's
That's bad, man.
No,
King. Give him a king, okay?
6.8 million chip pot. Thomas feeling a bit more relaxed than Chris Frank for obvious reasons in a 7.
Oh,
Rolls
hearts.
right off.
Okay.
So the 10-6 gets there, but as you can see,
Lion heart.
Ribeiro has the flush draw, draws live.
coming.
Yeah, I think
Gotta have some heart.
And the river is a 10, a jack rather, and it does not
Sure, thank you. Good game. Good game. Yeah. Usual.
rescue Thomas, who's taking it in stride here, but that was an incredible
I said see you on Coin Poker.
Yeah. See you on coin.
out of nowhere
Promoting his
No, you did good.
sort of pot, a bit of breathlessness in the room.
You're really good at
Yeah.
getting the ladder from 5th to 4th in this spot. It's happened to you multiple times. I did it one
What just
time.
happened?
I've seen it. You got it a couple times.
Massive,
It's a really good
massive
skill to have,
pot.
actually.
It is.
By far the biggest plate in this tournament. I mean, Christopher Frank is up to 10 million chips, 100 big blinds. And if we look at the leaderboard on the Triton Poker Plus app, Christopher Frank with those 100 big blinds, Laszlo with 60, Dylan Weiss with 33, and Lee Payson with 16. There he is, Ribeiro.
Thomas finally able to capture a cash in these PLO streets here at Triton on his 8th attempt, and a handsome cash it is.
And I gotta say, the glasses really grew on me.
Yeah. 635,000.
And yeah, you're not getting any walks from Chris Frank right now.
No, but he's not putting in a raise here with the 7-6-3-3. Parsons double suited with 10s, immediately pounces. Says pot.
Quick call from Frank.
Yeah, shot that call out there. Less than one SPR for Ellis, and he's got middle set here up against a spade draw.
You have 700, right?
A little less by our count, 630.
670 or something?
Yeah, just under.
Pot.
700. How much is it? 700. Do I have more or
You have less.
I have less? Are you sure?
I believe you have slightly less.
I'm just counting.
Yeah.
I'm not folding. I was just thinking if I have some chips left.
Yeah.
So Chris Frank decides to put max pressure onto Ellis, of course. With a set, he will go nowhere. So we play for 2 million, and can the chip leader
Almost got you off the set.
find another victim?
What a 5.
Almost got you off another set, Chris says. He is just in the zone.
No,
5 of clubs.
I don't think we're going anywhere. Well, you can see a slightly contemptuous look on Parsons' face.
Ooh, the 9.
6,
Goes
7.
in,
The
yeah.
gutter slides in. Something I'd overlooked. And now suddenly Parsons needs to find a pair on the board.
GG Ellis.
Again,
Or
guys.
it's showers.
Nice playing with you.
Knuckle bumps.
Your
From
turn
afar.
game is on point today.
Your turn game.
This is a full-on steamroll.
These are mine.
Yeah, he has been a complete war machine, just destroying this FT.
One big
He's
blind?
starting to look like the floor man that sits at the center of a craps table with every single denomination neatly stacked in front of him that makes change for like the croupier and the other people. I mean,
Yeah.
this is too many chips.
Yeah.
This is starting to get out
That's
of
how you win
hand.
poker tournaments. I'm
$795,000
very grateful that you keep
going to Ellis.
I've V-pipped like 2 hands this final table.
Aku, his compatriot, coming over to give him the fist bump. Man plays lights out. Don't let a 4th place finish somehow lead you to believe that he's not capable of a Triton trophy in this PLO streets. Something tells me it's going to happen, and it may not take long.
Sorry, yeah?
I was supposed to bubble this thing, so
Ah, yeah, you were. I mean,
I didn't do anything wrong. It was just
you got
like
80% of his deck in with aces to then want to do a set.
yeah.
Pot.
Oh. It's the best hand in Omaha high-low. Still
What?
a pretty decent hand
He
here.
had pot. I said what? Like how much is it? Like 125 or something? Sure.
1125.
Well, this is
good?
the spot we were just talking about.
Has
shot,
potential,
don't
but
shot,
not
don't
that
shot.
good.
Ah, it's not all in.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Don't mess up.
Very, very live cards for Chris.
Pot.
42% to
Have
go to the
aces.
I
flop.
have king and I have cards.
Okay. Fair fight.
That was good.
Yours is double suited?
Ah,
I think so, right?
But only one suit working.
I think an ace is a good turn card. 300 more, Chris.
All right.
Let's put a 5 maybe.
What's a 5?
5 of clubs. Is
No.
clubs live?
5 of clubs, yeah.
No.
The vector flush live?
Just an ace.
I fold Jack 4.
This is where your
or I
turn
just-
game is gonna
I fold
start.
Jack 4, so it's good.
You folded Jack 4?
Yeah.
Oh. That's
Dylan
not
has
good.
been saying that his turn game has been really good.
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
Come on.
complete break.
Pair the board.
With
If you get there, you get there.
yeah,
King 8, 6, or 3, and we have our third place finisher.
There's
Oh,
that
nice.
5
On the
of clubs
turn.
they were
the
calling
three all
for.
the cards I need.
late.
Nice. 300 more.
I would have won.
That was sketchy. See, you just wait for aces.
It's unbelievable.
It's a good strategy in PLO tournaments, right? You just fold until you get aces and go all in.
Just wait for aces. That's the people who pay our win rates. Wanna wait for aces.
You know me, I'm very weak tight. This final table I've just folded.
Because you were supposed to.
Huh? Because I'm supposed to?
Yeah.
I am.
You're supposed to be aggressive, you're aggressive.
I had the worst seat by far. You too. It was not good.
Being quite open about, you know, the value of the chips they've had and the positions.
Frank is no longer buried in his hoodie where he was earlier in the tournament. He's now hoodie's off, he's talking, his legs up.
Hot.
He just feels a lot more comfortable, doesn't he?
Absolutely. And Dylan Wiseman's going to be very comfortable with this King Jack 10-8 double suit.
This is a pretty big pot here because it's the two guys who are short. Whoever wins this pulls into second. And obviously it can get even bigger than just this. Oh, Dylan really flops the world. Jack 10 with the redraw, double backdoor flush draw.
How much is in there? Thank you. $275?
Laszlo has a 9 and a gutter, backdoor diamonds, which are dead. And this feels like one of the lightest hands he's going to float with. Great card for Dylan because it gives Laszlo a dummy flush draw. Wonder if he just checks it here. His hand is so robust. Like, how can he lose? I mean, the only way would be is if Laszlo has two pair or a set. Set's definitely betting as Laszlo anyway.
And this pot is getting pretty big here with the 1.425 in the middle.
Will Laszlo make a move here? If he does, it's not going to work out very well for him. This is exactly what Dylan was hoping for when he checks.
0%. I mean, this is a disaster.
That his
I'm asking how
opponent
much more he has.
might bet hands that he would fold to
You
a
were
bet.
kind of even.
Okay.
Probably trying to attack those
All in.
Queen X kind of hands that don't have a
Nuts
diamond
and
draw.
mega
Yeah, and
redraws.
Laszlo. Oh, wow. Not what you want to hear.
Bro, I'm throwing the.
Yeah, and a dejected Laszlo. Very hard to get it in 0%, but he found a way. Wanted to target certain hands that might fold here. He had the diamonds in case he was up against it. But he was up
game,
against
Laszlo.
all of it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our third place finisher for just under $1 million.
Yeah, Laszlo
Do you want to do
probably
SCM top or no?
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah,
annoyed right now. But, I mean, he's a great player. Another great result in the
Do you want to
PLO
play for, like,
tournament.
some small
Omaha
amount, or
for
what do you
rolls.
want?
We'll be
Whatever
back,
you want.
certainly.
Do you want to play the 50K or no?
I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, an incredible run from Laszlo, really showing his prodigious abilities when it comes to Pot Limit Omaha. It was no surprise to see him at this final table. Bit of a disappointing finish for him there in third in the way that it went down. As we can see, now the heads-up chip counts. Christopher Frank, 119 big blinds. You know, Dylan Wiseman's going to have some chips to work with here. We've seen how
Man, this
proficient he is in
deep.
Omaha. Yeah, this is deep. We're going to have a, have a little battle on our hands here.
The issue is that if he's good and your opponent is bluffing, he might fire another barrel, right? We'll never know. It's pretty hard for Dylan to call there and then call again.
Jack 10 for everyone. We saw what the damage that did to Laszlo to bust in third.
Wiseman hand is in super jail here. I mean, look at this. Jack 10-7 deuce versus Jack 10-7. Wiseman only wins on a deuce that doesn't hit their hand in any other meaningful way. No, sorry, a deuce and then pairing another one of his
Yeah,
cards.
yeah. No, it's a long climb.
Yeah, it was a parlay that is now over.
Yeah, basically now that remaining 20%, if you see that 80% equity for Christopher Frank, the remaining 20 is only represented by the odds of that straight coming in that they will then chop.
This was a pretty natural bluff candidate for Dylan after checking back flop. He has an open-ender, and he only has jack high. Open-ender to the nuts. And there it is.
Okay, so I have a question for you here.
Yeah.
There's 775,000 in there. I mean, I guess we'll just see 3 bets and all of it goes in, right?
Yeah, I mean, Dylan's going to raise, and, Frank will put him in. Yeah, that's... I think you answered your own question.
No, I know,
agree
but
with it.
I wonder for the very nature of just like knowing that Christopher that Dylan Wiseman will never put the rest of the chips in without Jack 10 and is going to have Jack 10 so often when he raises that like almost for the novelty of it, for the fun, just call, right?
I think that happens in some spots. My guess is this won't be that time, and I don't think Frank is that guy. He doesn't strike me as the guy who's going to call.
Just call with the nuts.
Yeah, like knowing. That's more like you're going to see like
1.8 million.
somebody
Oh
like
yeah, especially to this size that is just
Doyle
like
Brunson, or just like a live pro who's been around forever will
Yeah.
make that move, you know?
Call.
Yeah, see.
10 of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
obviously, yeah. And they go through the motions.
7-3.
Deuce.
Let us not stand on
Great
ceremony,
equity, my man.
Mr. Wayne.
So I went.
The decision.
Just ceremonial at this point.
I had the jack of clubs. You have the 10 of clubs.
And as you mentioned, when we saw the percentages,
a power
Wiseman
for
actually
a
getting
free
quite
flop
lucky there for the chop, just
Jack
20% of the time on the turn.
Wow, what a flop for Dylan here. But with an ace on board, he's going to check it over. And Frank has a nice hand to bet with. Thing about the 5s is you have outs if your opponent has an 8.
Yeah.
And you like clearing out over cards. So they tend to be hands that get bluffed in PLO on these paired boards. So it makes sense that he's going to c-bet this and probably c-bet very frequently in general on this board.
Call from Dylan. Turn is the 7, filling up the American. Get out of there, Frank. Frank,
Feels
you
like-
got to get out of there, Frank.
I think he's going to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at his hand.
Don't you put a 5 out there.
The ace, in some ways, is a good card for Dylan, really, because he's still beating 3 aces. Right?
He is.
Like, because the opponent, if he has like ace, king, queen, 4 or something like that, is playing 3 aces, king, queen. Or, sorry, 3 aces and a king and an 8. Dylan
625.
actually has a full house.
Yeah, so just to clear up for those that aren't, you know, a bit more familiar with Omaha, of course, we have to use 2 of the 4 cards that we have. So let's just say that Christopher Frank did have something like ace, king, queen, jack. Let's just make it simple. Doesn't actually have aces full of 8s because he can't play those. He has to play 2 of the cards in his hand. So he's only playing that 1 ace, 8, 8, and then king. In this case, Dylan has 8s full of 7, so has an actual full house.
Yeah. So the only hands beating him are ace
How
8,
much is it?
ace 7, or aces.
So Frank,
And Frank,
actually,
yeah.
7, 8.
considering this,
That was stupid, maybe.
So Frank is thinking here that Dylan,
all the misses, all the flush draws.
yeah, he's going to have just missed flush draw diamonds that bet.
125? Oh.
Yeah, 125.
Okay. 1 is my ante, and I only have to put 125.
This is it. They're just spinning on
Would
the
you bluff
first
ace king
hand.
there?
It's so tough to say. When I have the nuts, I think about Vegas and the Mirage.
Yeah, it's,
And if I have the bluff, then I think, would I actually like, do I like the spot, right? So it's tough to say right now.
it's a good spot.
Can't give you a good answer.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Good luck.
Good luck. I got flip against any 2. I got good.
The Rounders reference by Christopher Frank right
Double?
there.
No, single.
When I have the nuts, I think about Vegas and the Mirage, so it's hard to say.
That's
I like
great.
that response.
Oh, you're ahead.
I'm ahead.
Red cards are good.
Dylan's going to need a lot of help to get back in this one.
Yeah, and this might be it. Chris doesn't even want to look, even though it's all but over. He has.
Wow. Yeah, it's over,
Do you
fam.
have a pair yet? No.
Wow, Dylan still has
About
20%
7
equity
hearts.
somehow against his
Start
hand.
the car, Mom.
It's amazing.
Pretty sure practice is over. Deuce on the turn,
Good,
though.
That's good.
4 to chop and 10 to win.
5?
87% to win,
5?
13 to chop.
GG.
Yeah,
Well
and
played,
that club is going to do it.
Very well played.
And Christopher Frank, what an incredible performance here on this final table in the 100K PLO main event, our first ever, and he's got a big smile on his face like he just won $2 million bucks. Because that's exactly what he did. And the Jacob & Co. timepiece. There's Ali Najad. And yeah, Dylan, an incredible performance himself. 1.666 million.
Yeah,
Discussing with his
Always has king
partner
or
there.
like king plus 1 club.
Yeah,
I had 1
these
club.
spots generally
Sorry,
you
is king
build
plus
your
1
range
club?
out of
When I have 1 club in my hand, it makes
just
it
nuts that you raise, and then you raise fold some high card hands,
weird
and then you raise calls some very
Thank you,
nice.
appreciate you.
So there are the payouts. You can see Christopher Frank, our very deserving champion, just over $2 million bucks for first place. Dylan Weissman, 1.66. And let's not forget about all the talented players that were on this table previously. Laszlo, Elias Parsonen. We had Ribeiro, Danny Tang, of course, huge favorite for the Ivan Liao Player of the Year honors, and Benjamin Tolerin, not to be forgotten, in 7th.